We're officially on the road to WrestleMania as the Raw after the Rumble has concluded, and I only have one thing to say. 4 letters, 1 word. Yeet. Like, what a reaction for Jey Uso on Monday Night Raw. It was incredible to see, and I think that immediately puts to rest all the rumors and the people online saying that Jey Uso shouldn't have won. Yeah, no doubt in my mind after seeing that crowd and hearing that ovation for him, that yes, Jey Uso deserved to be the Royal Rumble winner. But we're gonna get into that and more. Welcome to Hot Takes. My name is Conman167, and every single week after Raw, SmackDown, and every PLE, I ask you over on Twitter to submit any hot takes, thoughts, concerns, bold opinions, whatever you got, and then we sit down right here, talk about them, roast them, whatever we gotta say, we do, all right? It's a fun time. So if you'd like to submit your hot takes in the future, be sure to follow me over on X at Conman167. But without further ado, let's get into this thing. WWE knows what they need to do. Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens at Elimination Chamber. Randy comes back to cost Kevin Owens the match, and that's how we set up Kevin Owens and Randy at WrestleMania. So for a little bit there, I wasn't sure if we were going to go in the direction of Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens at WrestleMania, or if it was going to be KO versus Randy at Mania. It seemed like it was going to be one or the other, and after the package pile driver to Sami Zayn on Monday Night Raw, it certainly looks like we can be building to a battle of Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn in Canada at the Rogers Center at Elimination Chamber, and I'm gonna be there. Yes, I'll be there in Toronto, and I can't wait. If we get this battle of Canadiens against each other, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, it's like a dream match of mine. Everybody knows how big of a Sami Zayn fan I am, and I truly believe Kevin Owens is the most versatile player in WWE. Even at this level he's at, he's criminally underrated. And if I'm able to see Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn one-on-one in person, that would just completely make my night, man. Oh my God, I love this. Like, I can remember at NXT R Evolution when Sami Zayn won the NXT Championship and everybody came on down to the ring and was celebrating with him, only for Kevin Owens, his longtime friend who debuted earlier that night, just to turn on him. That moment that happened, my heart broke, and I really learned what true heel turns were all about. Like, honestly, without NXT Black and Gold, I don't think I'm the wrestling fan that I am today. Everybody has this one type of promotion that they get hooked on, or there's certain sets of characters that they really truly love and just want to follow their entire story. And Sami Zayn is one of those guys for me. So if I'm able to see in person Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, I'm just going to be a happy con. But regardless of my own personal emotions and feelings with this, I just have to speak from a storyline standpoint. This makes so much sense to do Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn at Elimination Chamber, not only because it's in Canada and you get the battle of Canadians in Canada, so the crowd would love it, but also then it sets up a perfect way to give Sami Zayn a big win over Kevin Owens after being turned on by his best friend, and return Randy Orton and get that big time WrestleMania match. Randy Orton, Kevin Owens at the show of shows. It's got to go down at this point. Now, of course, we could be looking at Sami Zayn being written off TV until WrestleMania, and then maybe they just do Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn at Mania. Like, that could be a thing, and Randy Orton returns at WrestleMania, and we continue the feud between Randy and Kevin post-Mania. I just said Mania a lot of times. But that doesn't feel as good. I don't know if good's the word, but it just doesn't feel as fulfilling. Not getting Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens in Canada is too big of an opportunity to pass up on. And if you're able to run Kevin Owens, Randy Orton at WrestleMania after this heated feud, after being tag team, after being friends, all that, it's a Mania match. The Elimination Chamber matches are looking incredible. Both sides are going to be stacked, and best of all, I will be there in person. See you there, Carter. But honestly, after getting one of the most stacked Royal Rumbles in WWE history, we are setting up one of the most stacked Elimination Chambers ever. Like, WWE is on fire right now, and every event seems to get better and better. It's just incredible to watch. But we are talking about a potential all-timer here in the Elimination Chamber. Not only is it John Cena's last chance to get to WrestleMania and fight for a title in his last year, but there's also so many other stories that are going to be weaved into this chamber match itself, like CM Punk being in there. His opportunity to go to WrestleMania and maybe main event it is on the line. It looks like maybe Logan Paul is going to be in it, and if it's not Logan Paul, it's going to be Rey Mysterio, so that's pretty dope. Who knows what Roman's up to? Drew McIntyre, Damian Priest. Like, the list goes on people who could potentially make this Elimination Chamber match, and whoever is in it, it is going to be so must see, man. Maybe Seth Rollins is in it. And what I love about the Elimination Chamber on the road to WrestleMania is it really does feel like a big deal now. It used to be just another stop on the road to WrestleMania, but now it's like another opportunity like the Royal Rumble is. The Royal Rumble winner gets to choose who they want to face at WrestleMania, which champion, and then the Elimination Chamber gets the other champion. I kind of love the way that that's put together. It really makes the Chamber feel like a bigger deal. And the fact that it's going to be a stadium show in Canada is wild. Like, I was at the Elimination Chamber event in 2023, and that was so much fun seeing Sami Zayn versus Roman Reigns there. The crowd was electric in Montreal, but it still was only in the Bell Center. You know, there wasn't more than 20,000 people in that arena. There was probably, like 17,000, 18,000, something like that. At the Rogers Center in Toronto, there's going to be over 50,000 people easily jam-packed into that stadium. I can't freaking wait. I've never seen a wrestling show in a stadium before. This will be my first time, and dude, we're going to have such a great time there. The package pile driver is kind of getting old. He should use another way to write off or attack opponents like a stunner or a concerto. There's many other ways than just a pile driver. And sure, yeah, like there's many other ways that somebody could take somebody else out of WWE. Like there's a million ways they can do it, but here's the thing. They're getting the move over. They're getting the package pile driver over. They want the pile driver to feel like a dangerous move. And for such a long time, the pile driver's impact on a wrestler has been diminished, whether that be because it's been overused or it's just not frequently used enough that people don't know it's really a dangerous move. Kevin Owens has completely changed the perception of that, at least within WWE. Anytime he hits it, that immediately means somebody is going to be written off TV for a little bit. It's starting to get in the same realm as Randy Orton's punt kick. Anytime Randy Orton hits the punt, that person's gone from TV for at least a couple weeks. Right now, Kevin Owens' package pile driver is taking people out of WWE for at least a couple weeks. It's such a dangerous move to have in his repertoire, and it's a great way to tell his story because now all of a sudden, Kevin Owens hit this super uber dangerous move on what is supposed to be his best friend in Sami Zayn, somebody who was literally out there for his war against Cody Rhodes. Now granted, Sami Zayn didn't necessarily stop Cody Rhodes from grabbing the title, and Kevin Owens in his own delusional way thinks that Cody Rhodes or Sami Zayn chose Cody Rhodes' side, right? But like, that's not what happened. We all know that Sami Zayn was just being good guy Sami and not really getting in the middle of it, but being out there to check on his friend. And so there's just something so devious, so menacing about Kevin Owens believing that he is in the right. He's so far gone at this point because so many things have happened to him that he believes he was betrayed by Sami Zayn, even though Sami Zayn was there looking out for his best well-being. Kevin Owens be cuckoo. My hot take is that Netflix has great servers. Yeah, okay, what was going on there? I thought the Wyatt Six had been traded on over to Friday Night SmackDown, but here they were completely taking over the end of Monday Night Raw. Dude, that was tough watching it. I know there's been a lot of concerns around Netflix with the whole Jake Paul, Logan Paul fight and the buffering and everything, and people making fun of it, saying that their servers aren't that great. Well, this is the first time we've experienced it as WWE fans when something was going wrong. I don't know what led to that. I'm not a TV guy. I don't know what the TV production truck was looking at, and I don't know what could have been going wrong with their feed. Maybe there was a busted cable. Maybe, who knows? I have no idea. You'll have to talk to a TV professional. See, I don't even know what they're called. TV electrician? No, that's not it. TV technician? A TV dude? You'll have to talk to one of them. But my hope is that they fix this. It was really difficult, and it almost cost us the chance to see a true heel turn with Kevin Owens turning on Sami Zayn. And like, you know, if we miss moments because of like buffering or server issues or whatever, it is a little bit out of the hands of WWE. But like, it has to be addressed. It has to be fixed, right? We're in 2025. Even a moment where something buffers, everybody's attention span is so short these days that nobody has the patience to get through it. Look, all you have to do is take a look at social media last night with this buffering and this blackout stuff at the very, very end and the chopping of the segment together. Like, All you have to do is take a look at online and you will see so many people losing their minds. We do not have any patience anymore. People's attention span is so tiny. The moment that screen started to flicker black, people were already tuning out. They were flipping through TikTok. They're on Instagram Reels. They're on YouTube Shorts. They're on Twitter. Nobody has the patience anymore to deal with that. So it's just the reality. We got to fix it, man. It was not great, but what can you do what can you do, right? What can you do? You just got to watch the show, and if it happens, it happens. It really isn't that big of a deal as long as it gets fixed. Jey Uso needs to work on promos. He stood there for a solid 10 minutes before speaking. I understand he was probably emotional from the Rumble win, but it felt like he couldn't get a single thing out. See, this has been strange to me. I've seen this narrative online that a lot of people were not happy with Jey Uso's promo. What, showing raw emotion isn't a good promo? I thought that was the whole point of a babyface connecting with the crowd. Jey Uso connected with the crowd. He was feeling that emotion. He was saying thank you for all of their support, because without the crowd yeeting and chanting his name and being behind him for the last 5 years, Jey Uso doesn't get this opportunity. Sometimes we lose this ability to look through the lens of a real person, right? We always look at this as a storyline or a what's next in the story of WWE, that we forget that these are real people achieving something that they maybe never thought they were going to achieve. Can you imagine being Jey Uso, coming up as a tag team guy and finally breaking through, and not only breaking through to become like not a tag team guy, to winning a singles title in the IC Championship, to now winning the Royal Rumble? Like, that's surreal. In a similar way, when Charlotte Flair made her return, there was so much emotion behind her return because it was a full year she was away from WWE TV. The emotion was real. So sometimes you just gotta let the person go out there and be themselves. Soak it up. Drink it in. It's probably never going to happen again in his life, right? Jey Uso's probably going to be a one-time Royal Rumble winner. So let him enjoy the moment. That's what he got on Monday Night Raw. After seeing all the hate, the negativity online on social media, imagine reading that after the biggest moment of your career, only to go down to the ring and you have the entire arena, just like a couple nights before, chanting yeet, waving their hands up and down in unison with you, seeing kids with tears in their eyes because their favorite won the Royal Rumble. This was special. We don't always have to have a 10-minute long promo segment that has a million words in it and a bunch of buzzwords and a bunch of things to get the people to pop. Sometimes you just let raw emotion be raw emotion and let that character connect with the crowd. Then you turn it into a storyline. They did exactly that with Gunther, and Gunther came on out, kind of ruined the party for Jey Uso, and on to business we went, right? Now we have a build to WrestleMania. Jey Uso, Gunther. It looks like it's going to be that way for the World Heavyweight title. But you have to give characters their moment with the crowd, especially after they win something that they probably will never win again. I love this promo from Jey Uso, and I wish more people could see why it was so damn good. Drew McIntyre not being on Raw tonight, despite being the talk of the town, makes me legit worried for him. I thought there'd be some amount of damage control for him, but apparently not. Yeah, I really don't know what's going on with the whole Drew McIntyre situation. There's rumors that Drew McIntyre was upset with how his spot in the Royal Rumble went, but like here, that's just speculation. It's all dirt sheet talk. I really don't know what's going on there, so I'm not here to speculate on it. What I can say is that Drew McIntyre missing from Monday Night Raw did feel like a glaring hole, and we need to figure out what Drew McIntyre's road to WrestleMania looks like. With him being eliminated by Damian Priest, they could be building to Damian versus Drew. Like, that is a big enough match for Mania, but it also feels like a step down for Drew after having an incredible 2024, especially after he won the world title at WrestleMania last year and then got cashed in on, only to win the Money in the Bank and then get screwed over while trying to cash that in, and then have an incredible Hell in a Cell match that he didn't go over in. It really does feel like Drew McIntyre needs a big Mania program, and if there was somebody out there that could make Drew McIntyre's match feel like a big deal, it really did feel like it was going to be Roman Reigns, Drew McIntyre, that the end story of Drew McIntyre was getting revenge against Roman, but that also doesn't feel like the case anymore. We are also teasing a little bit of a Wade Barrett return to the ring at some point, and I wonder if that's still on the table. If we could get Wade versus Drew at WrestleMania, I'd even be interested in Drew McIntyre versus Logan Paul. However, Drew McIntyre, he's more of a heel, so I'm not sure if they'd be really willing to run Drew McIntyre versus Logan Paul at Mania. Feels like maybe it's going to be Logan versus AJ. And I guess there's another person who could be available for WrestleMania, and that's LA Monday night. I wonder if they do LA Knight versus Drew McIntyre. That's a bigger match, I think, and at least it would be a way to highlight both men going into Mania. But you see what I mean? It does feel like maybe a bit of a step back for Drew McIntyre, and that sucks for him. But what do you think's next for Drew McIntyre? What do you think his WrestleMania match could be? And what do you think is going on with Drew in the WWE? Let me know in the comments. Liv Morgan and Io Sky just put on a 4-star banger 2 days after lasting over an hour in the Rumble. We all know Io is the best in the ring, but Liv is seriously underrated. Nothing but respect for those two. Yeah, it's incredible. Like you just said, they lasted over an hour in the Royal Rumble, and they went out there and tore the house down on Monday Night Raw. In my opinion, it was the best match of the night. They really crushed it. And yeah, Io Sky is absolutely incredible, and we've known for a long time that she's one of the best in-ring workers in the world, but Liv Morgan has taken a lot of steps forward to be able to keep pace with some of these great women's wrestlers on the roster. In fact, Liv Morgan has not only pushed herself up the card, but she's now pushed herself into the conversation of being one of the better women's wrestlers on the entire roster. And one thing I want to credit Liv Morgan with is her awareness in the ring. I really noticed at Royal Rumble when Lyra Valkyria had that wardrobe malfunction, Liv Morgan was the one who stood up immediately and got Lyra Valkyria out of the camera. She punched her in the face and then knocked her down into the corner so that they could deal with her wardrobe malfunction. That is the type of in-ring awareness that Liv Morgan possesses. She's also a great character on top of it, and I love that she is trying to elevate Raquel Rodriguez along with her. Liv Morgan really does deserve more credit. So yeah, nothing but respect for both Io and Liv Morgan for doing what they did on Monday Night Raw, going out there after being in the Rumble for an hour and completely tearing the house down. It was damn entertaining. We need to see more women's matches that get like 15 minutes on Raw, because when they get to go out there and do what they do, it's so much fun to watch. Roman versus Seth is pretty much confirmed for WrestleMania. It will be interesting to see how Punk gets himself involved in that match, possibly cashing in the favor. I don't think we can say anything is confirmed for WrestleMania yet, really. There is so many open-ended stories right now, and there's a bunch of different paths that we could take on the road to the biggest show of the year. So hold your horses saying that Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns is all but guaranteed to go down there. It does seem like it could potentially happen there, and it also feels like after the Royal Rumble, we could be building to some form of triple threat. This could be the favor, right? Maybe CM Punk doesn't win the Royal Rumble. Maybe CM Punk doesn't win the Elimination Chamber. And the only way that he gets to WrestleMania, potentially main eventing it, is by cashing in this favor with Paul Heyman to get himself inserted to a match with Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. That could happen. And I like the idea of the favor being something that gives CM Punk the WrestleMania main event that he's always been after. That to me is the most important part of this entire story, that if Punk can't get there with the Rumble, if he can't get there with the Elimination Chamber, he's gonna get there any way that he possibly can, and he's gonna use that favor that Paul Heyman owes him. And also just seeing CM Punk versus Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns end a WrestleMania, like WrestleMania Night 1, this could easily be the main event for. I think that's a great idea. And anyways, me saying that out loud, this could very well main event Night 2. Like, this could be the ending of WrestleMania Night 2, the very, very end of WrestleMania 41, seeing CM Punk, Rollins, and Reigns fight each other. And who knows who wins that? Who knows what types of swerves could come out of it? Maybe Paul Heyman completely ditches Roman Reigns and decides to go with CM Punk after all. I'm getting ahead of myself, though. If CM Punk is going to be in a match, this could very well be one of them, especially if he loses the Elimination Chamber. But let me know, what do you think CM Punk is going to do at WrestleMania? What do you think Roman and Seth are going to do? I'm very curious to know. I feel that a Dominic Mysterio face turn is coming sooner rather than later, because you can tell that Dom is tired of Finn Balor talking down to him. It makes me wonder if we're actually going to run with Dominic as a face, or if it's going to be Dominic being the one who grows tired of Finn Balor and turns on Finn, and then all of a sudden we continue to run with a babyface Finn Balor and a heel Dominic Mysterio. In fact, I think that's going to be the WrestleMania match for Dominic Mysterio this year, is Finn Balor. There's been a lot of issues with Finn Balor and Dominic Mysterio, and the growing resentment between the two doesn't seem to be slowing down. So at some point, we're going to reach a boiling point, and it's going to be time for the two to face each other. And we are on that road to WrestleMania, and Dominic Mysterio is a big enough star that he needs a highlight match at Mania, and there's very few better than Finn Balor on the roster at getting the best out of somebody else. I think Dominic Mysterio could have a great WrestleMania match against Finn Balor. And can you imagine if he beat Finn on the grandest stage of them all? It would do wonders for Dominic Mysterio's career. There's also still some stuff going on with Liv Morgan, and I wonder if there's more history with Liv and Finn than we really realize yet. There could be. I know still I'm going to go back to the starting of Liv Morgan getting involved with the Judgment Day when she was seen coming out of the car with Finn Balor, that there's something still there, and I wonder if that could be a big turn at WrestleMania. Maybe if they really want Dominic Mysterio to be a babyface and he needs to be a good guy, he needs to get screwed over. And you know what? Life is a circle. What goes around comes around. Dominic Mysterio screwed over Rhea Ripley. Maybe it's Dominic that gets screwed over by one of his best friends in Finn Balor and his current girl in Liv Morgan. I don't think Cena is winning the chamber match. Having him win the world title at Mania feels a bit too early, and having him win it later on this year makes it more emotional. I think CM Punk is winning here. I personally have no idea who's going to win the Elimination Chamber, but let's touch on this. John Cena. What if he doesn't win the chamber? What does that mean for him going into WrestleMania? What does that mean for the rest of the year? I love the idea of John Cena really trying to chase the 17th World Championship. He came up short in the Royal Rumble because he announced himself in the Royal Rumble, and now maybe he comes up short in Elimination Chamber because he announced himself for the Elimination Chamber. It's not as if John Cena won his way into the chamber, right? He didn't have to qualify. He just put himself in it, and maybe he's not as good as he remembers. He's getting older. He's on his last run. Maybe he thinks he's better than he actually is, and that 17th World Championship is really, really far out of his reach. That chase for John Cena to winning the title, I think, is the way to go, and not giving him the championship at WrestleMania is the best option in my opinion, because we have 2 nights of SummerSlam coming up later this year, and there was also somebody who is going to be competing for the World Heavyweight Championship very likely at WrestleMania, and that's Jey Uso. Now, can you imagine if the SummerSlam Night 2 main event is John Cena versus Jey Uso for the World Heavyweight Championship after John Cena was eliminated by Jey Uso in the Royal Rumble? That, to me, writes itself, and it could very easily be the way that John Cena breaks the record in the main event of SummerSlam, a 2-night SummerSlam, breaks the record to hold the championship for 17 times. Man, wouldn't that be a story? I just want to be in the video. I really enjoy watching the streams. Thank you, Chris. Thank you so much for your support. And seriously, thank you, everybody, for your continued support here with this channel. I love what I get to do, and it's all because of you. AJ going to Raw could be the best transfer of the whole window. The matches he could bring over there are endless. Gunther, Penta, Ilya, Dragon Lee, Braun Breaker. Such a good move. Yes, this is an incredible idea, moving AJ Styles over to Monday Night Raw, especially with the amount of talent on Raw right now. With everybody you listed, he can put on a banger against nearly anybody. There's also the world title scene that could use an AJ Styles. The tag division, if they ever needed it, could use an AJ Styles. AJ Styles in many ways is like one of the most versatile performers on the entire roster. This guy can do anything. He can work babyface, heel, he can be a comedic act, he can be a single star, he can be a comedy guy. Like, he's literally done it all. He can wrestle in the ring with the best of them, he can work on the mat, he can fly around the ring. Everything AJ Styles does is phenomenal, and the idea of bringing AJ Styles over to Raw to help nurture the talent over there is such a great move. He's so damn good at what he does, and you're right, just any matches AJ Styles has could very well be one of the best matches on the card. So it's a great move bringing AJ over. Seriously, one of the best moves of the entire transfer window. Pete Dunne would look good in Imperium if Ludwig is interacting with him again. You know, I was wondering this as well while we were watching Raw. I wasn't sure if they were going in a direction of Pete Dunne and Ludwig Kaiser being a tag team, or if this was going to be Pete Dunne and Ludwig being affiliated with Gunther some more. Like, recently we've seen Gunther and Ludwig not be on screen always together. Ludwig Kaiser has been like moving on his own. He's becoming like his own man, you could say. And putting him in a tag team with Pete Dunne might be a way to help move his career along without making it feel like he's in the exact same place. After getting eliminated super duper quick in the Royal Rumble, Ludwig does need something, and it looked like he was maybe going to be the next guy to challenge for the IC Championship, but if his star power has kind of cooled down a little bit, maybe he's not in the WrestleMania plans. giving him something to do with Pete Dunne might be the best option forward. And look, Pete Dunne deserves to be on TV too, and it doesn't need to be this dumb Butch stuff, all right? That stuff died like how long ago? Yeah, we call him Butch. Dude, that's not a great storyline, right? It's just a nickname that he doesn't want to be called this nickname. That can't last for another 6 months. We're back to the Bruiserweight Pete Dunne, and we need to see him put on banger matches in the ring. He had a great match against Penta. He's going to continue to have great matches against anybody that he can get in the ring with. And if this is going to be maybe a tag team or a feud between Ludwig and Pete Dunne, I'm here for it, man. Here for it. While I wasn't the biggest fan of Charlotte winning the Rumble, her getting booed like Hogan was a bit rough. I don't think she was booed like Hogan, but I get what you're throwing down. You did kind of have to feel bad for Charlotte Flair because she was kind of doing the same thing that Jey Uso was, where she was going out there and speaking from the heart. It was a difficult year for Charlotte. She was away for over a year, had to go through a lot of therapy in order to get back into the ring, right? A lot of physical therapy to do what she does. And the crowd loved her right up until the win, and then there was a bit of a mixed reaction. And then here it is, social media starts clowning on Charlotte Flair, just like the social media world does. And then all of a sudden she shows up on Monday Night Raw, and the crowd is booing the hell out of her. Now, I think this is partly because of the way that she's been built up. It does feel like Charlotte Flair is a heel. It doesn't feel like she's been returned as like this good person, right? And the promo on Monday Night Raw kind of leaned into that idea as well. Charlotte Flair is still a heel, man. Like, as much as we want to give her flowers and everything like that, you can cheer for Charlotte Flair, but the moment that you see her start to wrestle, you want to boo her. You love her. She's so damn good that you want to see people beat her. And so she's best suited as a heel. And I think WWE does know that, and they're probably going to build her up in a heel way. And if I was WWE, I'd push her to the moon as a top tier heel. Get as much heel heat behind Charlotte Flair as you can, because the fans don't want to see her win a title. Put a title on her. The fans don't want to see her win at WrestleMania. Have her win at WrestleMania. The fans didn't want to see her return and win the Royal Rumble. Have her return and win the Royal Rumble. It is so easy to get this heat on Charlotte right now, and it's going to end up building up a babyface of the future, who I think is going to be Tiffany Stratton. If WWE builds this story right, I see it being Charlotte Flair versus Tiffany Stratton at WrestleMania, and you have Tiffany Stratton lose her championship to Charlotte, only for Charlotte to then get the rematch, or I guess Tiffany Stratton get the rematch at SummerSlam. Night 1, main event, Charlotte Flair, Tiffany Stratton, and Tiffany gets the title back. There's the chase for Tiffany. That's the chase she needs. This to me is a no-brainer though. Book Charlotte Flair as one of the most diabolical, most self-arrogant, pompous heels that you possibly can, and the people will get behind anybody you put up against her. But that's it for this week's hot takes. Make sure you let me know any other hot takes you have down in the comments section below. And also, while you're down there, make sure you leave a like on this video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on those notifications, because we upload wrestling videos every single day. And if you like what we do here, you're going to love our Patreon. Not only do we have our main event watch along, which is us watching every single WWE pay-per-view main event match in WWE history, and also our Lucha Underground watch along. We've got a match club over there, and I just introduced an entire replay of Monday Night Raw, Friday Night SmackDown, and future PLEs with my reaction with the entire show as well. Go check it out. But thank you very much for watching, everybody. Again, click like. We'll see you soon. I'm terrible at outros. My God, I got to get better.